us about autopilot lifestyle and how it can help.
Sure. Well, let's set the stage first. So today, for stress management, we have all kinds of options. Well, we have our vices, of course, smoking, drinking, etc., medications, anti-anxiety meds, other meds. There's also plenty of relaxation techniques to try. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga is a big one, just regular physical exercise, which I can use more. We've talked about that. Also, alternative slash complementary treatments like acupuncture, massage therapy, aromatherapy, herbal remedies, other dietary supplements. So there's no shortage of options to choose from. But from a stress management perspective, these options relieve or release stress or help you in some way with stress you already have, as opposed to help you avoid stress or limit it in the first place. That's not to say that some of these options don't have other benefits unrelated to stress management, but I'm just talking from a stress management perspective. If you're someone who has trouble or managing your stress well enough day to day, and you're having issues and having to rely on some kind of treatment the way I did, it's going to get expensive. Now, cost isn't the only concern, of course, but it's certainly one that we can all relate to. And that's not to say that some of these treatments aren't worth every penny when you really need them. Let's talk about that for a second. In my case, I was this close to taking prednisone, steroid, for my ulcerative colitis. Already had prescription filled and everything. But I wasn't thrilled about the symptoms, the side effects, or the fact that it wasn't really addressing the core issue or issues. And so I felt that there wasn't really anything to lose by trying an alternative treatment first. So I tried acupuncture. To make a long story short, I was dumbfounded by the results. I really had no expectations, and it was unbelievable to me how fast and effective the treatment was. And I'm sure my practitioner had something to do with it too, Dr. Pang. She's very good. Now, the treatment was around $60 a pop, which was a bargain. But it still added up quickly because I needed at least 2 treatments a week for up to 4 weeks to get into full remission. Bottom line, I'd say it's been upwards of $400 to $500 every time I flared up. And then I would continue treatments, but less frequently, as more of a maintenance therapy between flares. And then there's the cost of the Chinese herbs I was taking. And none of this, by the way, was covered by my insurance. So let's talk about that for a second, because I know there are policies out there that cover acupuncture. I don't know how common they are. And I'm sure it's probably pretty rare that the herbs portion of the cost would be covered, even if you had coverage for acupuncture. And I should mention that Medicare currently does not cover acupuncture, and it's also not listed as an essential health benefit under the Affordable Care Act. Although some states are mandating coverage for acupuncture. I believe Maryland and California are 2 of them, which I think is great, although you don't know how good the coverage is going to be. Not to mention, some acupuncturists choose not to accept insurance. So in any event, it's still expensive, and not just that, it's inconvenient. On a day that you have a treatment schedule, you might as well block off 2 hours, easy. Not that the treatment itself is 2 hours, but I'm talking door to door. And you may have to travel a ways for a practitioner whose treatment you respond well to. In my case, I had to travel 50 miles one way to Dr. Pang, but it was well worth it. So the whole point of bringing this up is that relying on treatments, whether it's acupuncture or something else, probably not the best long-term solution for stress management. Living a more balanced lifestyle is a much better option. Easier said than done, right? We'll talk about it. One other option before I get into autopilot lifestyle, coaching, like health coaching, life coaching, other types of coaching. There's all kinds of coaching. Through education, training, support, nudging, and other motivational techniques, coaching can, among other things, help you make better use of your time and help you deal with daily stress from a cognitive approach, which is something that we couldn't offer, or functionality we couldn't offer in the short term, but certainly something that we can work towards integrating into the system. One thing to keep in mind, coaches have to maintain a certain distance so as not to get too involved in their clients' personal affairs. There are boundaries, which, in my opinion, limits their ability to help you actually apply their tools, training, recommendations, and such to your specific circumstances.